Move that on. Save that. Hello, everybody. We are live with episode 18 of the Hunger for the Hustle podcast. And it is my absolute pleasure to be welcomed today by, I have to get this right, I've been practicing, Eseverere, Akara. It's actually rare. It's rare. It's where I'm going to go with Ezi for now. That if someone's second name is easier than their first name, so I love that. It's the first time for me. Welcome, Eseverere Akara, to the Hunger for the Hustle podcast, otherwise known as the 5 to 9 CEO. Eseverere is using her voice to motivate and inspire people around the world. She encourages people to stay positive and lead an intentional life. Now, the main reason why Ezi is on is because we want to talk about her hunger for the hustle. And I'm really keen to say, Ray, Christ, I'm going to keep tripping over this whole interview. I'm going to go with Ezi. He's okay?
Thank you, Jake. Thank you. Can you hear me?
I've got you loud and clear. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. So happy. Feel excited. I'm super pumped. So glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. You're looking fabulous.
Thank you.
We can see and hear you very clearly. Now, you're joining us live from Tennessee this evening. Is that correct?
Correct, Jake.
Great. Well, as you and probably some of the audience may know by now, I'm here in Melbourne where it's 7 a.m. and it's just after 3 p.m. there. So we've got to love the wonders of technology that makes it happen for us.
I know. How is Melbourne, Australia, by the way?
It's great. I wish I could turn the camera around. I won't because that's a bit, it'll go a bit shaky, but I'm just looking out here at a beautiful sunny morning. The sun's just come up and we're just turning, obviously we're in completely different times of the year here season-wise, and it's just summer's just coming around here, so just started to get that warm evenings and warm mornings back, so it's a good feeling. How's Tennessee?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Like I said, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm so glad you're doing a very great work, Jake. Hunger for the Hustle, it resonates with me so much, and I was really looking forward to this podcast. So thank you. You've been doing an exceptional job too. I've been following up for a while, having great interviews, great speakers, learning a lot. So I commend you for that.
Thank you. It's my absolute pleasure to be able to bring it to you. And I really thoroughly enjoy doing it. As you can probably tell, we always have a good laugh, and I've always got a big smile on my face, certainly before, after, and while doing them. So it's my absolute pleasure to speak to people like you, of course, who have the hunger for the hustle deep in with them. And then let's dive into that. The 5 to 9 CEO is what they call you, and no doubt what you like to call yourself. Now, that's an interesting name, isn't it? It kind of turns the whole idea on its head. Tell me and the audience more about where that name came from, please.
Okay, so I love to be addressed as the 5 to 9 CEO, and the whole idea of the name came from the hunger for the hustle, if I'll say, right? So I work at a 9 to 5. I work my regular job, and I'm big on multiple streams of income, right? So it doesn't matter, you might have a steady job. I feel if you really want financial freedom, the whole goal here is to have something on the side that you're doing. So it can be a side hustle, it can be a side business, but you have to create time for it, and you have to put the work into it, basically, right? So I thought about the name. It started funny because I was on my job and I started to, I felt like, okay, I want to leave. My goal is to transition away from my 9 to 5 job to be my own boss, to do my own thing, because that's where I find my passion. That's my happy place, right? When I have my entrepreneurial hat on, it makes me so happy. I just love what I do on the side. And that's not to say I don't love my job, but of course, being your own boss makes you happier. And I'm sure you can relate with that, Jake, right? So this whole thing started, and I started to think, okay, for me to transition from my regular job to a side hustle, then I have to create time for it. And because my employer pays me for my 9 to 5, I'm limited on how much I can do with my 9 to 5, right? Les Brown will say your job is what you're paid to do, right? But your passion is what you're called to do. And I really wanted to put my time into my passion. And so one day I just, I was on my job and I said, okay, I want to be my own boss. I want to be the CEO. I want to create opportunities for other people. But how can I achieve that? And I can't achieve it right now because I'm on my 9 to 5, but I can start working towards it. So sometimes you might have a goal, you want to do something, but you don't have to wait. Like they say, you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. And you can actually start small. You don't have to wait for the right time. You don't have to wait for things to fall in place. And this was me talking to myself now. And this is from listening and, my personal development stuff and everything. And one day I just said, you know what, I don't have to wait till when I want to walk out of my job. I want to begin to feel like the CEO right now. And since my employer pays me for my 9 to 5, how about I think about it this way so I can be happy at my job? And I said, you know what, from 5 to 9, they don't pay me, which is the opposite of 9 to 5. So I'm going to be my own CEO, and I'm going to use that time to do what I love. And I will put that time in and inspire people, educate people, motivate people. And, that's how the name came about. And it resonated with me. It sticks to me. It makes me feel good because it tells me, it reminds me of where I'm going. Okay. So, and it also helps me with now. So that's how the name came about. And I loved it. And people started calling me the 5 to 9 CEO. So
I love it. It works. I wanted to ask about it because I wanted to hear the story, but it's you can instantly, just as soon as you hear it, you can figure it out, right? Usually, someone for me would be able to figure it out. That means, it's someone with a hustle. They're getting the hustle on while while everyone else is doing the 9 to 5, you're doing the 5 to 9. And trust me, I know a thing about that. I know a thing about 5 to 12, 12 to 5, whatever hours you want to give. Just
exactly.
Need a few for sleep, and the rest is often just spent on the hustle.
Exactly. So
excuse me. But and something else that you touched on there is, living by faith, not by sight. You can't always see the things you want. They're not always here yet, but living as if they are already here and have already happened in your mind will make them come around a lot quicker in reality. So living in, what a lot of people call the stoic state of mind, and I am, instead of I try,
exactly.
I might, I may.
Yeah.
It's the mindset that it's powerful, right?
Yes,
Powerful.
exactly. It is. We want to delete, I will try, maybe, just be positive, because it has to do with our mind. Our mind plays a lot with our actions. Like what we think about in our mind is what will come to pass, right? So it's more of, I look at it this way. You want to achieve a certain goal. You don't have to see yourself there before you even get there. It's not trying to live a false life, but see yourself there. So do any little thing that you have along the way that can position you for where you're going to. You don't necessarily have to wait. Just start to do it. And then, I flash back while I was growing up. There were some things I said to myself, and that's why they said in the mouth, there's death and life is in the tongue, right? We have to be careful what we say to ourselves. And that's why I was very purposeful and intentional when I chose that name for myself, because I realized that as I've been going through my journey through life, some of the things that I've said to myself, even though they sounded playful, like, I just playfully said it, okay, I'm going to be this, or I'm going to be that, they are finally coming to pass. And a lot of them are still going to come to pass. So as I go through life, my goal is to be very purposeful of what I say, very intentional of how I act, because I have a goal. I'm seeing myself somewhere and I'm going to act according to, and I know that the lines will fall in pleasant places.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Living with purpose and intent, things just start to fall into place a lot more and make a lot more sense to you at the time, because, it's challenging to think like that. It's not, I don't find it easy to think like that personally myself. I'm sure you can agree with me. You know, it's okay. It's easy to say, oh, I will forget try, or forget might, or forget it's a maybe, and I'll go to I can, I am, you know, I will, I do. It's easy to say, but it's not easy to do. But it's something, repetition. You just have to stick at it and change your mindset over time. But it does bring challenges, of course, and that's leads to my next question. I would like to ask you, what's been some of your biggest challenges whilst you've been juggling these two things?
Okay, so I'll say my biggest challenges, or one of my challenge, has been how do I get this, like how do I get people? Because okay, one thing that we know, like let me speak about my 5 to 9 hustle. Okay, the whole idea of what I'm doing with my 5 to 9 hustle is to get people to realize that, you know, whatever they want, they can go for it in their business, right? To get people to come from a place of instead of coming from a pushy place, like we'll put it in quotes, where you want people to be a part of your business, or you want to get your target audience, you want them to you want to lead from a place of value, right? So it's not about what can I get, it's more of what can I give, like what can I offer. So getting people to think that way, because we have been programmed to think a certain way, unfortunately, for a long time. And getting people to, or getting us, or getting, and I'm saying that includes me, to change our mindset, to begin to look at things from a different angle. You know, it's something that I have a passion for, and I see it as a challenge, but I'm keeping at it, and I'll keep going for it. And I've been working my way through that. So you want people to, anything you want to do, this is applicable, anything you want to do in life, basically, you want people to know you, you want them to like you, and then of course they can now trust you, and they can relate with you, they can do business with you, they can share the stage with you. But it's a process. So it's more of coming from a place of value, right? Lead from a place of value. Like I have, I have a network marketing company that I'm a part of, but traditionally, I'm not doing it the regular way that everybody. I tried it in the past, and that did not work. So this path is more satisfying to me, because I'm giving people value, and I'm leading from a place of value, and I'm helping people. So you find it's like finding yourself while you're helping somebody else. Okay, and you don't have to be whole to find yourself. Okay, everything doesn't have to be complete in you for you to find yourself. You see people, they are in a certain situation, but they go after some, and they're going to help somebody, like somebody going to pray for somebody when he or she doesn't even have a child, right? So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together, so that's the angle that I'm coming from.
Yeah, I love it. It's not an easy thing to do, juggling two things at once, or sometimes three things. I mean, I know you've got family as well, right? So we haven't even touched on that yet, but that's another. You got the day job, you got the side hustle, you got the family, and I don't have family. I don't have children myself. Of course, I have siblings and parents and such, but it's not easy to keep all the plates spinning, as I like to say, and sometimes things can get a bit stressful. But yeah, anchoring yourself back to why you are doing it and what you're doing it for, and the values attached to that, can keep you on the right path, I think.
Exactly.
Now, straight from the challenges to the wins, because wins are great, right? We like a good win. In a group we're in, Thinking into Results program with John Tallarico, we jump on a call every Tuesday that we love. I can see you dancing. I'm dancing too. It's a great group, and we get some real power from there, from just being. I mean, the training itself is fantastic, but being surrounded by, people who are going after the same sort of things as you, or hungry, who are driven, it's fantastic, isn't it? But we jump on the call every week, every Tuesday, with John on a Zoom call. And one of the first things we like to get out is our wins from the week, isn't it? It's always nice to share your wins and what's going well for you. So tell me, what's been your your biggest win since you adopted this name of the 5 to 9 CEO?
Wow. My biggest win has been reinventing myself. I just love the opportunity that it's giving me to find my passion, find my purpose, right? Finding myself. Like I said, I quoted earlier, Les Brown says, your passion is your calling, right? So it's been my biggest win, just to being in my happy place. And it has also opened doors of opportunities, great doors of opportunities that I never would have imagined, just, being on my own before all these things. And that was how I stumbled into the whole Les Brown's program and the thinking into result. It was just from a place of hunger, how do I get better? How do I improve myself? Yes, I want to help people, and I just don't want to help people myself, but I want to bring people along the way, right? And for you to do that, you have to equip yourself. You have to get the necessary tools and things like that. So there've been a lot of personal development that I've gone in, and I'm just so excited. I'm blown away. Like you just mentioned, thinking into the result. Oh my God, my head. Sometimes I'm like, this is a lot of positivity in one sitting, right? And it's just so good to be in a positive place. Like you can tell, sometimes I don't even know what to say. Like I can't really express with the right words, because it's been my desire, right, to just be surrounded by quality people, right? Only quality people. It matters so much just to be in an area where everybody is hustling, if I want to use that word, to be better. Everybody is, improving. And these are just different people from all part of the world. So I'm grateful that, I decided to go this path with the 5 to 9 CEO, which has opened the doors to all these opportunities. I mean, you're all the way in Australia, we're speaking here. This wouldn't have happened, right, if I didn't, embrace my passion and, started to affect life, or started to see how can I be of value to other people. That was how all these things started. When I first started, I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't know this was the route it was going to go. But as time went on, and the things that are just, enveloping, I'm just so happy. I'm excited. I am blessed to have people doors of opportunities, and taking those opportunities and taking them to the next level. Thinking into result with John Talarico. I mean, shout out to you, coach. I mean, you have just been able to bring out the best in us, and we are scattered all around the world, but we're just, soldiers, and things are just happening. And to think that this is happening in a time where the world itself is not really at peace. You know what I mean, in quote, right? Yeah, so, and all these things, they say beautiful things, for a beautiful thing to be happening in the midst of chaos. They say when there's chaos, look out. Wise people look out for opportunities in the midst of the chaos. And it was in the midst of this whole pandemic, I started my 5 to 9 CEO thing that I was doing, right? So I started when the pandemic struck and everything. Les Brown, I always like to quote him. He said, "It's not like you will not be aware of the things that are happening around you, but you don't want to be consumed by the things that are happening around you, okay? Especially if they are negative things." So, and I started to think, okay, how do I come out of all of these from all of this drama, but still come out on the winning side, still come out on the positive side? And so I started to, I'm big on social media, because 5 to 9 CEO is all about people building their business using social media tools and strategies. So I give out tips, strategies on how you can build your business online, okay? And your business can be anything. I've had people reach out to me. I just had a new client reaching out to me. She's actually a pastor, so it doesn't have anything to do with network marketing, but because I do business consulting on the side, so I just came from the place of, okay, how do I come from a positive impact? It's not like I don't know what's going on in America or what's going on around the world, but I want people to come on social media, and I want to give value on social media. I want to be that positive image on social media. And that's not trying to say, okay, everything is perfect with me, because everything is not perfect with anyone. Don't let anybody fool you, right? But instead of looking, it's just all about perspective. How do you look at life? I don't want to, I posted something recently. There was a tree, and somebody walked up to the tree, and in there, people were saying different things. Somebody saw a tree, somebody saw books, somebody saw a chair. You understand what I mean? So even with all the things that have been happening, my goal is, I mean, thank God for safety, you know, keeping us and our loved ones. That's why we're here. We give him the glory and all that for keeping us safe. You know, how do we be that light in the midst of the darkness, basically? So it was from that place of hunger. That's how I found myself here. So it's been a win-win, and you know, you already know our community is growing so fast, and the good thing is, once you're doing a good thing and you're on the right journey, the lights will, other people will be attracted with by the light, and they would be able to join. So this is really, really good. And you know, let me take this back to you. Look at you in the midst of all these things. I know you've been able to quit your job, so you're ahead of ahead of some of us that are coming, right? You know, in the midst of all this, I remember right before you went on live on Les Brown's on the Power Summit and all that, you took that first step, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, just take that first step, like make that move, and I really commend you. That's really, really commendable, and I'm sure you're enjoying the journey, right?
Thank you. Yes, I am, and it really just started for me. I mean, Monday is the first day of full-time entrepreneurship, although I've already been at it this weekend, and I've been at it for years anyway, but yeah, committed and dedicated and focused. Pulling back to the first way you answered the question there, you said, you know, sometimes you were looking for this group for a long time of people that were positive, were driven. And let me tell you, I was too, and I started to wonder if they actually existed, or if it was just I was the only one out there that thought this way. And I was reaffirmed and very pleased to find out that there are other people out there that are just as crazy as me, and they want to go after their things with unwavering faith and OQP, right? Like you said, only quality people. I've been I've been practicing on that one, and when you really look inside and dig deep into your circles, the people you're surrounding yourself with, you can realize that there's some people that you need to maybe wave goodbye to a little bit, or just nudge away, because they're not aligned with you and the things you go after. And as well as the other thing you said, it seemed to me like you were overwhelmed with the positivity. Sometimes you just don't know what to say. I know what you mean, and it's great that it's an overwhelming of positivity and not negativity. And I think if you're not careful about who you're surrounding yourself with, you know, that you can become a product of your environment. That's certainly a thing. And if you spend too much time in that space around people that don't support you in your goals and dreams and build you up and fill you up, then that negative connotations can soon rub off. So yeah, so surrounding yourself with those positive people is always a good thing. Always a good thing. Just on the side here, we've got two of our friends watching, which we have to say hello to. It's my pleasure to say hello to. Made it sound like a chore there. Joanna and Beata, lovely to see you watching.
Hi, Joanna. Hi, Beata. Thank you for joining. Yeah. The support system is so great, right?
Right, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, we've got like this training we do. We have a WhatsApp group, we have a Facebook group, and at any time you can. And it's great actually, because everyone, as you've mentioned, is in different parts of the world, different time zones. Because I'm typically a few hours ahead of the pack, being here in Australia, but just ahead in time wise, not any otherwise. But it's always cool because you can jump in there on Facebook and WhatsApp at any time, and there's someone giving some news about something good they've done and what they've been up to. And of course, people ask, reach out for help in there, and there's always people willing to give that help. It's not always easy, the training, the thinking into results. Many times I find it pretty difficult. And when I've needed that help, I've asked, and someone's gone, hey, look, I had exactly the same problem a couple of weeks ago. Here's how I got through it, round it, and got out of it. So, yeah, there's always that's why another reason why it's good to surround yourself with people that what are after the same things, because they're going to be able to tell you where they got stuck. And you've probably got stuck in exactly the same place if you're doing a similar thing.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, my next question, tell me about failures, because I always like to ask people about their failures, and I find that you learn more from the failures than you do the wins. So perhaps you'd like to share some of your fails with us and how they helped you.
Yes. So failures, I see those as challenges. Like I said earlier, no one is perfect. If anybody tells you, okay, you know what, my world is perfect, everything is just going well with me, that's, people like to show just the good things, right? But definitely everyone has failed. And I think I heard something yesterday that said it's always good to prepare to fail. The same way you prepare to win, like prepare to fail, because that's how you become better. And that's how somebody was sharing with me again. I think it was yesterday. She said I think it was gold and diamond she was using to analyze. And she said the first time you see a diamond, or was it gold? Gold diamond, I'm not sure. Just like the first time you see gold, it's not pretty, or it was diamond. It's not pretty. It has to go through the fire, right? So it's the fire that purifies and makes it gold, or makes it golden, or makes it, beautiful. So everything you see, every success story, every great book, every great business or great organization, if I want to relate this, back to my business and things like that, there have been times of failure. So of course there have been a lot of times where I've had setbacks in my life. If I want to relate it to the 5 to 9 CEO, the 5 to 9 CEO was actually driven from a place of I remember building starting my network marketing business and building the traditional way, which was in 2000. And I think the first time was in 2014 or 2015. And I had some good success, I would say, the first time, but it wasn't sustainable. And people want to look at it. I remember then some of the people that I was with was like, okay, you don't have to give up. You may not have gotten to the goal, the landmark that you wanted to get to, So I saw that as a setback, or what we want to call a failure, because I didn't get to the goal that I wanted to get to, right? And then I came back again, all full momentum. This time life had a lot of other things have happened and some nice stuff too. And then, of course, I started to build again and made some explosive, it was very impressive. I had some great success this time. And somehow my business slowed down again. And it was in the midst of, slow down this time around. It wasn't, and this did not have anything. It was all because I tell people, you don't have to blame anybody. You don't have to blame circumstance. Blame yourself, like put it on you, because it all depends on you, what you achieve in life, right? And so this time, due to everything that was going on, kind of slowed down. And so I got hungry. This next time, I'm telling myself, okay, how can I do things differently? What are the lessons that I can learn, just so that I can do things differently? And this time I can build a sustainable business. So that's how 5 to 9 CEO. That's how I gave birth to 5 to 9 CEO, right? So it was from a place of, after failing so many times, I got hungry and I felt like, okay, I can do this better and I can find a better way. So I started to think, I started to process it in my head, like, okay, what is a way? Where can I find a better way? But this time I want something that is, like I said, sustainable, something that would last a lifetime, right? So, and what I have to do is I have to learn, if I have to go back to the drawing board so that I can learn the basic skills. So even before I came on to Thinking into Result and all that, I've been a part of another program that's been teaching me before I came onto the Les Brown's program and all that. I have another program that I'm a part of, right? That have been teaching me how to attract the right audience, how to attract the right people to my business. So I had to go back to the drawing board. And what drove me to the drawing board was failure, right? So I've had journeys, I've had different things in my life that I got success with or finally pull through, but it came from a place of pain. It came from a place of failure. So I don't see failure as a bad thing. I actually see it as a good thing because it propels you if you are able to challenge yourself. The problem is a lot of people fail or feel that they failed and they stay down there. They don't get up. So my goal is to get people to know that it doesn't matter. I got this from Tanya, who happened to be one of us. She said, you might have setback in life, but don't you're trying to come back. A lot of people don't get to the point of comeback, right? Because they get the setback, which everybody gets setback if we're being realistic, right? First time you go on some, most of the time you don't hit it the first time because you have to keep coming and coming. So when life hits you with a setback, what do you do? You know, sometimes some people want to come back, but they don't get to the place where they want to come back because they come back from the setback, but they sit back. Right. And she said that line and it kind of resonated with me. I was like, oh, wow. Yes. Some people sit back from the setback and at the end of the day, they don't have a comeback, but you need to push yourself to be able to have that comeback. Okay. So use all those failures, those things you wanted to achieve. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm smiling here because, you know, I've been able to turn all the pain in my life to my passion. I've been able to turn all the failures. I've been able to turn my setback, you know, just so that I can come back with a bang and not just come back, but I can go back and help people along the journey, along the way, you know, and you know, people that have struggled or people that are going through what I've gone through or have overcome and are sitting back. My goal is to push them so that they can actually have a comeback.
I love that. I love that. I love that line. I'm going to take that one for myself. Coming back from the setback and then sitting back.
Sitting back.
One. It reminded me of a quote I heard that's every setback is a setup for a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you adjust your thinking to that, then every time you get knocked down, which you're gonna, especially when you're going after things that you've never gone after before, and perhaps you don't know exactly the best way to do them, and you're falling forward into them, not back when they don't go right. Yeah, it's little things like that that just keep your head in the game, and making sure that when you know the why, that you can get through anyhow along the way.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Like you can come back. No matter how bad, no matter how long, just tell yourself it's hard. Like you said, like Jake mentioned earlier, it's easier said than done. You know, like that popular saying, right? It's hard, but you can do it. And that's why we are here. And that's why we're offering our voice, right? You can do it. Doesn't matter how many times. Use that as fuel to come back. If you have to go back to the drawing board, do that. If you have to rethink it, do that. Don't let fear stop you. You can do it. You can come back. You can reinvent yourself. You can be a better version of yourself.
Absolutely right. And it's, you know, it's you. It's up to you. It's your dreams and goals. No one else gonna do them for you. People might help you along the way, but they're yours to tick off the list, yours to cross off, yours to achieve. And once you have achieved them, then of course you're going to move up to the next level. It's for me, and I don't know, Essie, you might be able to agree with me here, but I don't just have one goal, I have a few of them, right?
Right.
About the A, B, T type goal.
Yes.
And I know what I'm talking about. You need to get in touch with John Tallarico, maybe even Bob Proctor. They're going to tell you about A, B, and C type goals.
Yes. And you know, I didn't know that. I realized after I joined our program that the goal I've been holding on to is actually a B type goal and not a C type goal. So I'm happy to have learned that. I didn't realize, and that was an eye opener for me. You know, if you know how you're going to be able to achieve your goal, then your goal is not big enough. That's your B type goal. So your C type goal should be bigger than you. It should scare you, and you don't have to figure out the how. Just dream it.
Yeah, we should probably tell the folks quickly what A, B, and C type goals are. Otherwise, they're going to be very confused about what we're talking about. You're right. A type goals are things that you know you can already do. B type goals are things that you think you can do, and C type goals are things that you have no idea how to do them, or even if you think you'll be able to do them, but you know you want to do them, is probably the easiest way to sum it up in a short sentence there. So often you're going towards things like a new car or a new position in a job, which are really A or B type goals. You know how to do. You know how to buy a new car. You save up the money, you buy the car. You know how to get the new position in whatever you're working at. You work harder, or you bring more value to the position, and you're going to be sought after for the position that's available. But C-type goals are really something that it could be that you want to build a hospital, build a charity for children, become a multi-billionaire business owner, you know, live in a cabin in the forest on 100 acres. It's things that, you know, are really out there. Really
kind of impossible, thinking about it and comparing it with your position, it may not look realistic, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the C-type goal, yes.
Yeah, C-type goal, yeah. Impossible. I don't like the word impossible.
I take that back.
Yeah, no, you can take that back. It's absolutely fine. But
I take that back because I thought about it. I was like, okay, no. I take that back.
It's unfair though, and I agree.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because when you first think of it in your mind, actually, your mind tells you, let's just say, yeah, you wanted to build a hospital you wanted to build a hospital in a third world country that doesn't have good access to food and water and medical care. Now, you write that down, the first thing your mind tells you is that's stupid and it's impossible. But of course it's not. You just don't know how to do it yet. And if you truly want to do it, then anything is possible. People have done things like that before. The only difference between them and you is that they worked on it and figured out how to do it. That you haven't quite figured out how to do that yet, but it makes it impossible at first, but then the more you work on it, the more it becomes a reality, and believing it, of course, beforehand. Now tell me, what are your goals and aspirations for the 5 to 9 CEO moving forward? I would love to know.
Yeah, so 5 to 9 CEO, my goal is to make this a very popular brand. It's actually a way of me branding myself instead of branding a company. You notice I never mentioned anything about the company, even though I'm a part of a very wonderful company. But the goal is not, I learned that you don't have to brand, you can brand yourself instead of branding a company, right? Because you're an entity for yourself, right? And that way, people know you, and it's not because maybe products are not good or services are not good, or it's taken away from, maybe you don't believe in a company. I believe in the company that I'm a part of right now. But when I learned how to brand myself, it gave me more fulfillment. Okay, so my goal is to make the 5 to 9 CEO a household name. And of course, the story behind the 5 to 9 CEO is to get people to have financial freedom, multiple source of income. Like I said, if you're not making money in your sleep, then we're not there yet, right? We need to be able to have these different streams of income where it shouldn't be just one stream of income. And if you feel you don't need the money, I'm sure there are projects out there, there are countries, there are a lot of things that you can donate all this money to. Because sometimes some people are like, okay, you know what, I'm okay with what I'm getting right now. No, dream big. We just talked about the C-type goals. There are lots of things, there are lots of projects, there are a lot of things that you can make the money for and invest them in those things. So I want to be able to, like I said, get it to be a household brand, okay, and get as many people as possible to believe in the concept, and I would say my audience are busy entrepreneurs, right? Some people want to leave their job, but they don't want to leave right now because of what the job does for them or whatever the job stands for, right? And you don't have to blame them. Everybody, it's a process, but just know that what I'm advocating for is if you have a goal, because not everybody have a goal to leave their 5 to 9. Some people want to work, the regular 35 years or 40 years, and retire and all that. It's okay. It's not a judgment zone, right? But if you have a goal you want financial freedom, you want time freedom, don't wait. Okay, don't wait for that right time. Don't wait till after you retire before you begin to set up those businesses. You can have a 9 to 5 and have investments. You can have a 9 to 5 and have a great corporation. You understand? So I'm only just saying, let's be purposeful with our extra time. Okay. So 5 to 9, like I say, don't necessarily have to be 5 to 9. It can be, some people work a 9 shift. It can be your daytime, just be purposeful with your time, so it's just to get a movement of people that, kind of align with the vision, and they have a goal that, okay, I will gradually walk out of my 9 to 5 job and build a side hustle. I won't let anything stop me, no matter what I'm on right now. I have my 9 to 5, and my 9 to 5 is taking care of the bills, but I will be deliberate about my time. Okay. So, and I know a lot of people are in this boat. A lot of people, I speak to people every day, and a lot of people, entrepreneurs, still have their jobs or regular jobs that they are doing, but they want to. So my goal is to ensure that I'm able to get a lot of people with me as we go along this journey, and just so we can achieve our dream, live the life that we want to live, because financial freedom is sweet, if I can use that word.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. And you did very well. Yeah, I love that. I look forward to seeing you on your journey and helping lots more entrepreneurs make the switch from a job to an life, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's possible. It is possible, because nothing is impossible. And the word itself says, I am possible. So what do we have to say?
Moving forward and taking action, particularly
Yes.
something you said there about waiting, the perfect time, the perfect moment, and I'll wait till the kids grow up, or I'll wait till my retirement, or I'll wait
Exactly.
till this happens or that comes together. To me, I think that just leaves you too exposed to living a life unfulfilled, because life is long and life is also short in the same breath.
Yes.
Life is short, and 10 years go by and they're just gone, and you wonder what happened. And life is also long. You get to, we all hope we get to a ripe old age and we're in our retirement, but you don't want to get to that age thinking, oh, I wish I'd done this at this time, or I wish I'd done that at that time, because so the time is quick, and you don't want to end up becoming a certain age, living a life unfulfilled, because you can't wind back those hands of time. So just take action and fall forward and get moving on your goals and your dreams before they get moving on you.
We don't want that, right?
It's necessary, says Beata. Yes, it is very necessary. And
Yes.
Emily says, Les Brown tells us it's possible and it's necessary. So they're both echoing each other's thoughts there. Yeah, it is. It's possible and it's necessary, and that relates to your goals and your dreams. Before we jump off, I don't know why I always use the phrase jump. It's just it's a phrase I've adopted because everyone else uses it. But I'm sat here in my chair. I'm not going to be jumping anywhere. I'm going from this podcast straight into another one with Michael Bridgman. But yes, before we jump off, I'd like to ask you 3 hot tips that you would give to anyone who wants to start their own business, and 1, maybe 2 or 3 book recommendations. What are you reading at the moment?
Yes. So one book I've been reading over and over again, of course, Think and Grow Rich. You never get tired of that. And another one I'll recommend is Purpose Driven Life. Okay. That's a very, very good book. So those 2 books have helped me. I never get tired of reading them. They're just good. I mean, expand your mind and just, on how you can think big, and things like that. Then 3 things I want to leave is one line that Les Brown always quotes, which is always ringing in my head, because I don't want to go to the grave with we don't know how long. You just mentioned life is long, and at the same time, life is short. My goal is to live a very impactful life. Okay. And because we don't know how long we have here. We have to do what we have to do. And you just mentioned, do it now. Don't wait for the right time. So if you're watching this podcast, just take action. I always say this, I preach this, I talk about it everywhere, every time I have an opportunity. And you don't have to wait for the perfect opportunity. You can take imperfect steps, okay? Because as you go along the journey, things will begin to iron out. Okay. Zig Ziglar says, take the first step. And then when you take that step, as you walk in and take that step, that imperfect step, right? Things will begin to take shape. Okay. Every time I talk to people, I tell them, the goal is God is going to take you from point A to point Z, right? But he's not going to tell you what you will face between B, C, D. He won't tell you. He will take you from A to Z. The journey along the way, the struggles, those things that are necessary, like Les Brown says, that we have to go through to be able to get that thing that looked impossible. It's necessary for us to go through B, C, D in between before we get to Z. So just trust the process. Wherever you find yourself, wherever situation that you are in, trust the process. Take that first step. It may be imperfect step, but don't worry, it will iron out. You're going into a bush. If you're looking at it from a distance, it's going to look like a forest. But trust me, if you go close to the forest and you begin to, your goal is to walk through the forest into maybe find your way out or something, or walk in. When you get very close, you begin to find paths along the way as you go. But if you were standing far away, you'll be scared because it's a forest. How am I supposed to go through that wilderness? How am I supposed to cross that Red Sea? But if you just take it upon yourself and believe the process, trust the process and make that imperfect step. Trust me, as you go along the journey, things will get smoother, things will iron out along the way, and you will live the best life that God has destined for you. So don't wait. We don't know how long we're going to be here. Live an impactful life. Thank you.
Love it. Love your words. Absolutely brilliant. And I can't think of a better way to end it on that. So I think we'll leave it there. You gave it a really nice sentiment at the end. Everyone, if you want to connect with Eseverere, you can do. I have put the links right here in the comments for both her social media, Instagram, and her website. Excuse me. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And I want to have you back on when you go full-time entrepreneur. When time becomes the 9 to 5.
Sure, right. That would be great.
More people to do the same.
That would be great. Thank you. I wanted to say thank you so much, Jake. Thank you for what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I love your passion. I love your drive. I love your no hustle spirit, hunger for the hustle spirit, and keep doing what you're doing. And I wish you all the best in this new journey that you have embarked on. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words. I really appreciate that. Folks, stay tuned. We're back again in 15 minutes with Michael Bridgman, but it's bye for now.
Bye-bye.